Hello and welcome to the show. We start this week's FailRace episode with Dommy the God on a GTA 5. Now this, during one of those races with the police getting in the way. However, it's an AI car that causes all of the problems. I mean, that crest is dangerous at the best of times. An AI car managing to turn perfectly underneath you is, not really. Surprisingly good landing. All things considered. They're not the only people, though, having trouble. F50 V12, also on GTA 5, has got AIs doing AI things. Now this time, admittedly, they're driving into oncoming traffic. Not exactly the safest. However, AI car randomly had a crash and reversed back out into the middle of the road. And said car is stuck. In fact, it's really very well wedged between the AI car that's now wrecked and the barrier. It could actually roll back off of it. KJK is up next on a GTA 4. Now, they are doing the mission, or they're finding all the collectibles. I think it's the pigeons they were trying to find and shoot around here. So they're not really paying full attention to everything that's going on. They spot what they're looking for, slow down. I say not paying full attention. I mean, there's not much you can do about that. A taxi and a truck got thrown at them, and it's goodbye to the player there. A Zigzag on iRacing. Up next is racing the trucks around one of the small ovals. Now, the racing at this point, everything is looking fairly normal. Everything is going according to, well, everything is going along the lines of a normal oval race. Up ahead, there's a little bit of a bump between a couple of trucks, and one vehicle gets out of control, can't get it back sorted, ends up in a wall, and then the magical force field ends up with the truck the camera's following straight out of the race. Good old force field. Captain Zach Beard up next on Assassin's Creed Valhalla has a problem with a boat that likes to roll over. Yes, boats are not immune to falling over. This one got sent to orbit, comes back down, does actually... This time it lands, it bounces, it rolls, pings about, and everybody's vaguely okay. There's some Vikings very confused and probably quite poorly in the river there. But the boat lands. You know, I'm surprised. Normally they just ping off out of existence, but that one actually did come back to land. Combed Centaur up next on Snowrunner. Now, they're playing around with a modded truck, I presume this one is, and they're trying to quickly recover a vehicle. Now, physics doesn't like that. You see, you drag the vehicle around too aggressively and it might get really glitchy. The thing is, once the vehicle's got glitchy, they actually disconnect the winch. I mean, you're just about to see the truck at the bottom is completely freaked out and broken, but the vehicle that they're driving is now stuck in the air. There's not much you can really do from here. Yeah, it's just gonna remain up there. FalconKing is up next on Gran Turismo 5 with the most impressive amount of lag I have ever seen in a race without being disconnected. I presume they must disconnect at some point. But in the start of the race, and everything is jittering around. Everything is not going well. Cars are pinging forward, cars are backwards, cars are sideways. They get shot forward by something. I don't know, it was the Audi or something else involved. Everything's gone pinging through. The poor Nissan does eventually land back down. Now we've got more something. Celica went flying overhead, cars are spinning around. I mean, this would be an entertaining game mode. It's kind of like the pinball mod on Wreckfest a little bit. Mini freaking out. You're around a corner and it's just full of cars doing things. I mean, smoke makes it difficult to see at the best of times, let alone an Audi's going to put the car into a wall. I mean, that is a seriously impressive level of lag. Now the Celica's doing a little dance, the Mini went pinging past, cars are pointing forward and backwards and all sorts of wrong. Piranha is up next on Forza Horizon 4. Now, we see rally cars roll and carry on often when it comes to Dirt Rally. On Horizon 4, the poor Subaru just gets it a little bit wrong, ends up out wide, clonks a tree, does a little dance, and then continues to not really quite know how to stop spinning, but does come back down onto its wheels, which is always helpful. On Dirt Rally 2, though, Fast Cats has got a new problem. Yes, that's stuck. I mean, it's not quite as spectacular as like a triple roll, land on the wheels and carry on, but it was quite a good job to get the vehicle wedged perfectly between a couple of trees. Even more impressive is managing to do it a second time on the same stage. A little further around, the Golf just ends up off the road, and yes, we are going to be perfectly stuck between two different trees. It's not really gone according to plan for the Volkswagen. This much. It has not quite worked out. But it's not just on dirt where things are getting stuck in awkward places. We move on to BeamNG Drive with Fustercluck up next. Now, we've seen huge wrecks on Beam many times before, but for this one, the car bounces and spins and ends up perfectly wedged. It's between, I think it's stuck a little bit on the tree and the front bumper is stuck a little bit on the curb. And it's in such a way that despite having what could potentially have been a really nasty crash, it's just wedged. Volvo Brick Fan up next on Beam with what is a more nasty accident. So, racing up against the AI, always an entertaining thing to be doing. The AI car goes up the inside, doesn't get it right, clonks the front of the player car, hits the barrier, falls over. The other sunburst comes through, rolls directly in front of the player car off of the mountain, and then tumbles away down. Yeah, that's not gone well for the AI vehicles in that one. Has gone surprisingly well for the player car. I wish I wouldn't have thought so. And finally, we have T18 on Beam NG Drive with an automation vehicle. Now, this is driving it down one of the ski ramp mods, if you like. Trying to launch the vehicle, see how far it can go. Is always good fun to do, and you know it's going to end up in a big crash. This vehicle, though, it is going for the record for number of cartwheels. It starts with a front flip, and then we're just going to pick up speed. It's just going to become a Catherine wheel down the ski jump, still going. Bounces off some stuff. There's a nice swimming pool there. Nope, we're going to miss that. We're going to bounce again and continue onwards. Well done if you've managed to count how many this is, because I have no bloody idea. I just know it's a lot, and it's probably a record for cartwheels. I mean, we've had a lot of rolls before in in this series and in general, but as far as cartwheels go, that is seriously impressive. I guess the pickup, like the shape of that car, is quite good for cartwheeling once it's started and everything, but that was quite an impressive tumble. That was quite an impressive tumble indeed. But there we go. That is going to be it for this episode. As ever, if you have clips you'd like to submit to this series, you can via a Google form. There'll be a link to that in the description. All the rules and how it works can be found on there. That, though, is going to be it from me. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, a goodbye.